We were at our restaurant several years ago where we had a great salmon dish, and it came with a nice side of what I like to call a hot bruschetta. That's the only way to describe it. It's a goat cheese with tomatoes, olives, and onions. It's delicious. Goat cheese bruschetta. Alright, so we've got our goat cheese from Publix on sale. Don't sweat it. It's delicious. It's going to be fine. We've got our olives from, these are from the Bilo. They're just from the olive bar. We've got some fresh green onions that we'll chop up. We've got some other onions, garlic, and tomatoes. And we'll use some bread and a little bit of olive oil. And that's it. It's a pretty simple dish. So, first thing we'll do is, first thing we'll do is chop some onions. Chopping them this way for a special purpose because all this is going to go on the bread. Little rounds of bread that will be mixed in with these tomatoes. And you'll see that they're going to be quite good. It's almost like a hot bruschetta. I don't know what else to call it. Anyway, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil. Swirl it around a little bit. And put these onions in. I'm sure there's a faster way to make this. I just don't know what. Uh-oh, put the garlic in. I won't put the garlic in quite yet. There we go, and put the tomatoes in. Just like that. It's kind of a crude looking dish. And we'll squeeze the garlic in there. It's just 1 clove of garlic. And you really don't even need it. I just like to do it because it just helps my garlic cravings. Kind of strange like that. So anyway, what's going to happen is, as these onions sweat and cook down, we're going to have these tomatoes will eventually start to pop, and the juice kind of congeals in the bottom of the pan with these onions, and it makes this incredible pot liquor. And then what we'll do is we'll get the goat cheese and some olives and put in there and put it back in the oven just for a few minutes, and that'll get it good and happy. And then we'll put it on toast rounds. So what I need to do is I need to get a top out for our pan. And we'll put a little salt on it just to help it a little bit. We're going to put it into about a 375-degree oven, probably for a half hour. Maybe just slightly longer. Turn on the convection. It's bad for audio. But what are you going to do? We'll just cut. Alright, I heard the chicken timer. So, there, look at that. Pretty amazing, huh? Caramelized onions, tomatoes that are swollen and blistered and broken open so the juice is mingled with the onion juices. Alright, so now what we need to do is cut up the goat cheese in little rounds. We've already cut up some olives, and we've cut up the green onions and the bread. Let's see, we need a pair of scissors. goat cheese is at room temperature. Something close to room temperature. So what I'm going to do is just cut it into rounds. And put it into the tomatoes like that. It's going to be difficult to do because I can't hold it and do it at the same time. So I'll do this and we'll go in fast motion. All right, so that's what it looks like. It's goat cheese with tomatoes and onions. And what we're going to do is we're going to add these black olives. You don't want to add them too soon because they tend to get washed out, their flavor. And then we're going to add these green onions just for a little extra color. Looking pretty good, huh? Maybe a few more. And then we're going to put it back in the oven and cover it. Or cover it and put it back in the oven. We're going to reduce the heat though to about 250 and go for about 15 minutes. You just want the goat cheese to get warmed through and then it'll be ready to use with the bread. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up this mess. All right, I heard the little chicken timer, so we'll just check the oven and see what's going on in here. Oh yeah. I can tell it's ready. Look at that. So, you've got the soft warm goat cheese, the olive oil, the onions, the garlic, the bell pepper, the green onions, and the regular tomatoes that are all ready to go. So, how do you serve it? Let's see. I just like to get a spoon. See, it's all just kind of, it's just, the only way to describe it is a warm bruschetta. Hot, hot, hot right now. Best to give it like 5 minutes. It's really good. All you need is just a glass of red wine or white wine, ice cold, perfect. Hot. So good. I haven't had this in a long time. And I remember it being so good that I wanted to make it because the tomatoes are in season. They're the sweet little cherry tomatoes. So good. We first had this dish at a restaurant called, I don't think it's even here anymore. It's gone. So it's the only place I've ever seen it, and we've made it several times, and it's just delicious. Anyway, I'm going to let my mouth cool off, and we'll see you on the next video.